Okay. So I am going to start out here showing you a couple of different things. One of the things I really want to show most, I'm just going to go into the announcements tool because this is the easiest place for me to show you. I'm going to create an announcement. And we wanted to show some of the different options for this rich content editor that Canvas has. Some of the things besides just typing out words in here. So of course you can, type words out into this thing. And I'm just going to make this a fake announcement. All right, so besides just typing words here, I can also add videos, and there are a few different ways to add videos depending on what type of video that you're going to be adding. If you're going to be adding a YouTube video, you would just click on this YouTube button that's built right in.
Cindy, we're not seeing your screen.
Oh, shoot, I forgot. Okay. Hold on.
I had a day like that in April. I spent 6 hours working on a lecture, woke up at 8:01 to teach at 8:30, managed to nuke my PowerPoint completely. It was the day the wheels fell off.
Yeah, it's the instructor that can't get in that's got me all thrown, I'm trying to help her at the same time I'm trying, and that just threw my mojo, So let me go back here and share my screen. Now, I know when I did some testing yesterday, it took quite a bit of time before the share actually happened. So let me know once you are able to see my screen.
We're in.
Okay, good, thank you. All right, so now I'll start. So here is that YouTube button here. If I click on that, it brings up a YouTube search. I can search for a video that I'm looking for. And once I find the one that I'm looking for, I will just click on this embed button over on the right-hand side. And that embeds that video right here inside of my announcement. Now, the rich content editor is here in the announcement, but it also exists in the assignments tool, the discussions tool, quizzes, anywhere that you have this box to type into, you can add all of these types of things. So you could put a video in for an assignment and then have the students write something back about it, things like that. So that is the YouTube. If we click on this little V that's just a little bit further over, we can also add in a TED-Ed video. It works the same way. You click TED-Ed, you would search and then click an embed button. The same for Khan Academy. If you have a Khan Academy video that you would like to share. If you're using Echo 360, you can embed this in Echo 360 video right here into this rich content editor. So to do that, I would click on Echo 360. And this shows the different videos that I have. You can, if you're looking for a specific thing, do a search. And so let me see. And say this is the video that I want. I will click on it. And then click on Insert. And so now that video, Echo 360 video, has been embedded right here within this rich content editor. You can record a video. So if you want to, just, hey, I'm going to make a quick announcement to my students, and I just want to record something, either with my audio, my web, or using the webcam also. To do that, you're going to click on, and I have to. This one here, if I hover over it, it says record upload media. So if I click on that, I can either, and it's saying, do I want to allow the webcam and the microphone? So I'm going to allow. Okay, and there we see the webcam is working. If I don't want to use the webcam, I can click on that and no video. That way I don't want to share myself. I just want to do my video. So now that I'm ready, I would click on Start Recording. Counts me down. Welcome to my class. I finish, and then it gives me the option to preview. Welcome to my class. All right, and if I like that here, I can title it if I would like, or it would just automatically be titled untitled with the date. And then I can save it. And now here, it says this link will be replaced by a preview icon. So there'll be, once I've saved, this will show up as a link that students can click on and listen to that.
Cindy, where do these recordings get stored, and do they count against your storage for your class?
I don't believe so, because when you upload or record video, it's stored on an outside. See, this is run through the video part. A company called Kaltura. It's sort of built into the back end. So when you save videos like this or you upload a video, it's saved to Kaltura, which doesn't have the limitations like the Canvas course, and it's not saved in the Canvas course itself. So you won't have to worry about running out of space in your course by uploading videos in this way. So this is the way that you want to. And if I click on that again, record, upload media, allow. And if I click on upload instead of record, I can upload an audio file or a video file, and those files will also get stored in Kaltura. So this is the best way if you've got videos that are not Echo 360 videos or that are not on YouTube to save, because then they won't use up that course space. You won't run out of space.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right. Upload video. Okay, so that's the video part. We can also add images a number of ways. The first way is if I go over here, and if I've already have it uploaded into Canvas, I would click on images. This shows me a little thumbnail of all the images I have added in, so that way I can see which one I want. I click on that, and here it's automatically added to the page. Now this is humongous, and I don't want it that big. I just have to click on the video, and here it kind of turns blue. If I click on that little drag box in the corner, I can shrink this down and make it a little bit smaller. All right, so there is my image. So that's if you already have it in your files. You can also click here, this upload a new image. If you don't have it in Canvas, but you want to store it in Canvas, upload a new image that way. If you don't have it in Canvas and you really don't want to put it in Canvas and the image is somewhere else, you can embed it instead. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on this embed image icon. It looks like a little picture. If I have a URL, so here I already searched on, say I want to put an image of books. So I find that image on, I'm on Chrome, and I right click on it and do copy image location. You don't want the link location that work. It has to be the image location. So if I'm going to click on copy image location, now I'm going to go back in and paste that here. Now the alt text is, what is this a picture of, for someone using a screen reader? So I'll just put books. I can change the dimensions if I know what dimensions I want. I'm not sure how big that's going to be, so I'm just going to click on update. And then I can again click on it and use those corners to drag it down and make it smaller. Now this is also not using your file storage space because it's not saved in Canvas, it's just linking out. Now the thing you want to be careful about this is that if it is an image that is somewhere that is protected, like if something you have on your Facebook, unless it's a public video or picture, it wouldn't work for your students. You'd be able to see it because you have access to your own pictures on Facebook, but your students wouldn't be able to see that. So you just want to make sure it's not somewhere that's password protected in order to add it that way. The other things you can do with this embed image here, it's another way you can search Canvas. This is your course files, and then there's your My Files. That's if you outside of Canvas go into Account, there's a files area there that you can save. Now that has less space than a course has. You really don't want to share your files that way. But if this is another way that I can go in and say, okay, this is a file that I have, I can click on it. If you have an image on Flickr, you can do a search of Flickr to find it that way. All right, so those are all the ways that you can add audio and video to your course. I'm going to finish this announcement so I can delay posting. If I don't want students to see this announcements right away, I can delay it and choose when do I want it to go live to the students. I can allow you students to comment back on this announcement if I would like to. And I can allow liking where they can do like a thumbs up. Hey, I like this announcement. So I'm just going to leave those blank and click on save. Because I didn't delay posting, if I have students in my course, they'll be able to see it as soon as I click save. And so now we have my giant announcement with my welcome video. You can click that button and it's automatically going to start playing the video. That's my YouTube video. Echo 360, again, click this button. It's automatically going to view that video. This is the image for the recording that I made. Now, it doesn't say anything on here, so I might want to add some words above it to say, click below to listen to my welcome message, something like that. And then my images show up here. You can always do all these same things to create a page, too, if you want to create a page within your Canvas site. And I go over pages in more detail in my modules workshop. So show you how to create a page to make it your home page, something like that. So do we have any? Yes.
Sandy, short of going into the HTML, is there any way that you can wrap text around images?
You can, and I have to remember how. I just was, as I was talking, looking at all my images, like I should have looked it up to remember how to do that. So let me add some words and see if we can get that to work. So this was where I thought it'd be a good idea to add. All right, now it was, you click on the item, I think you do a line left. I don't, man, I'll have to get back with you on the answer to that. There is a way you can do it, and it has to do with justifying, and then once you're justified.
It looks like it's maybe the fourth one over from where you are.
No, that's indent.
No. Okay.
I think it's a line left, but you know what? I think what you have to do maybe is add it to the end of, oh, let's see. Yeah, I'll have to look it up. I've got it written down in a spot because I never remember exactly how to do it because I don't do it very often. So
okay, yeah, if you could just shoot us an email, that'd be great.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Thank you.
Wrap text and image. Okay. Are there other questions about the announcement tool or the rich content editor?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to. All right, I'm going to skip to the syllabus because there's something new in the syllabus that I wanted to be able to show people. Now, here we have our syllabus where we can edit it and add a syllabus description. We either type it out or we can attach. Let me just do that quick. And so I go to my files and I'm going to link to my syllabus. So I just want to make sure my cursor is where I want to add it and add my syllabus and update. All right, so now my syllabus link is here. The preview button will pop up after a minute or so. But what I want to look at here is this bottom. This bottom section is called the agenda. Every item you have that has a due date is automatically added here. Or I should say things that they have to turn in. They're not necessarily having a due date. It's things that are in the grade book. So students can look here and see all the things and when they're coming up. Now, some instructors don't like this because rather than students, say, going through modules where they have to read 3 things and then do the assignment, students come right here and say, I'm just going to skip right to this discussion or this quiz or assignment without doing the other work. And so some students have gotten used to just going through and doing things this way without going through their modules and looking at each item. So something new that was added, if I click edit again, is this show course summary. It's checked by default, which means it's going to show this course summary. But if I uncheck that box and then update, that course or whatever they call it, the agenda down at the bottom is hidden. So when students come here, they're just able to view the syllabus itself. So in order to see all those assignments and things, they would have to go to your modules or your assignments page or wherever else you have it. So that's something new they just added probably about a month ago. So I wanted to point out that is something new. And if you do want them to see it, just make sure you leave it checked. And then it will show up. All right, files, I just want to show a couple of things. I'm sure you already know how to add files and add, upload things. One thing that it is, and I'm not going to show you it, I don't have anything prepared, but it is possible to upload a zip folder. So if you have a PowerPoint with like 15 PowerPoint slides, and you, rather than have to upload each one separately, if you zip that folder up, and then you can upload a zip folder with all those files in it. And I can send directions for how to do that if you're interested also. But one of the things I wanted to make sure people don't always understand are with the published options. So if I go to publish, of course, it can be published, which means students will see it. It can be unpublished, which means students don't even see it in the files tool. So it's not just that they can't click on it, they won't see it at all. That also means if you've linked to this file from an assignment or something, they also won't be able to see it. They'll just get an error. This next option, only available to students with a link. If I click on that, that means when they come to the Files tool, they're not going to see the file here. But if I have a link to this file in the syllabus, in an assignment, they'll be able to see it there. So a lot of times instructors will have things that they don't want students to see this file until during an exam, during an assignment. That's what you would want to choose, only available with a link. That way when they start the assignment or quiz, they'll have access to that file, but they won't be able to access it from the Files tool itself. And scheduled student availability is if something you don't want students to see till a certain time. So if you've got, say, a review that you want students to see after the exam is over, you would set your availability dates. So if my quiz is ending today, I don't want them to access this until tomorrow, and I only want them to be able to access it for 2 days. So I will go available until, and then I can use that. Oh, shoot. And so that way they've just got 2 days. I can't leave this blank and then they can continue to see it for the rest of the semester. And so then I'll click on update. And then here it tells me available. So the little calendar icon is letting me know that it's not available only at a certain amount of time.
But Cindy, am I right that I can hide the files section, but still have everybody be able to access individual things that are in the files?
Yes. If you have everything here all set to be published, and everything you want students to see are linked somewhere else, you can come into your settings and go to your navigation and then hide the Files tool completely. So just drag it down here and then save at the bottom of the page. And then the Files tool will be hidden, so students won't be able to go to files at all. But as long as your files are published in the File tool, students will be able to access everything from the announcements, the quizzes, the assignments.
And so that's why I might want to use visible only with a link if I had the file section open.
Yes, exactly. If there's only some things you want to hide and not everything, and you want students to be able to go to the Files tool, you would use that, either the schedule time or only available with a link in order to hide them specific files only from the Files tool. And if you create folders, and put things in it, you can set availability here. I can make it to where just everything in this, so instead of, let me edit this quick and rename it hidden files. All right, so then I set here, publish and make only available to students with a link. Now everything I put in here inside of this folder will only be available if it's through a link. Students won't see the hidden files folder and they won't see anything in it. So that's another easy way. If you want students to see most things, but there's just a few things you want to hide, you can put them into that hidden folder and set the publish availability at the folder level instead of doing it specifically for each file. All right, so do we have questions about the publish icon options or files in general?
Nope.
Okay. Now, the only other thing, did you have questions?
No, Cindy, I had not understood how to use the only available to students with a link, so that's really helpful.
Yep, and see, that's again one of those things that in an intro I really didn't have time to go through. That's why I split this up into two. I never had time to go into details on the different options with the rich content editor, things like these files. So that's the reason why I decided to do this as two separate workshops, to not overwhelm people with the stuff. Now, one of the things I want to just look at quickly with assignments is to make sure that you understand the assigned to section at the bottom. So automatically, this is assigned to everyone. If I X off everyone, I can choose specific students that I can assign something to. So it's only assigned to one student and none of the others. If I have two sections of a course combined into one, so I want my Biology 101, O1A and O1B combined into one course, I would be able to choose just to assign this to my section O1A or just to my O1B. And I don't have sections set up in this. If though you have something that's assigned to everybody and then you have one student that needs a different due date, you want to make sure everyone is left here. And then you click add at the bottom to add a new due date for that one student. We have a lot of instructors that come in and a student comes in and says, hey, I need a different date. And they said, okay, I'll give a different date. And they X off everyone. Now that assignment has disappeared for every single student in the course, except for this one that you've chosen. So you always want to make sure you leave everyone, click on add at the bottom and choose the student you want to have a different due date and different available dates, and then set those dates. When I've set it for someone else here, now we can see it's for everyone else. So for train one, this is their due and available dates. And for everyone else, it's these dates. Well, let me just add in a date quick. And now to make sure you understand available from, it will be hidden to students until this date. They'll see that they have this assignment, but they won't be able to look at any of the details until locks it up so they can no longer submit to it. So if you leave that blank, students can continue to upload to this assignment forever. So if you don't want them submitting it past the due date, you want to make sure you come in and set it to be until the same as the due date. Or if you wanted to allow late work, you could set it for a couple of days later. And if it came in past the due date, it would be marked as late. And as of this date, they wouldn't be able to do anything at all with it. And so let me set a due date for this. All right. Oop.
So,
yes, question?
yes, Cindy, while we're here, I've actually adjusted dates, so I'm good on that.
Okay.
Thinking back to the linked files,
Mm-hmm.
if I were to have an exam that I wanted to send out at a certain time, what's the difference between how I link the file? Do I use the little hyperlink tool, or do I'm confused with that.
What you want to do is, now the nice thing, like if pretend this is a quiz instead of an assignment, I want to go over here to this files tool over here. I want to find the file that I want to share, and I'm going to click on it. Now the reason you want to do it this way is if I import this course at the end of the semester into my new semester, this link that's been added this way will work. It'll update that link so it's linking correctly. If I just open the file, copy the URL, and then paste it in here, when I import next semester, that link's not going to work because it's going to be linking back to this semester's course, which your students next semester do not have access to.
Okay.
And so that will be a broken link. And then if you've done that all semester, you'd have to fix every single one. So by using this files over here and linking this, when I do my importing, Canvas will fix it so that it is linking to the new file in the new course rather than the old file in the old course. All right, does that make sense?
Yes, and
Okay.
so the advantage here of doing it with just clicking on the file to the right compared to attaching a file is what?
It will keep that link working if you import into another semester. Otherwise, it wouldn't matter. It would work either way.
Okay.
But it keeps the link active when you import it to a new course. And that reminds me, I did miss if we're going to add in a URL, and I was going to show. Okay, hold on, I got lost. All right. And so rather than just typing in a URL, which you can see here can be big and ugly, instead, if I type out my word, highlight it, click on this link to URL, and then paste this in here,
Mm-hmm.
and insert, that's going to make a lot nicer, easier, and it will definitely be clickable. I don't know if you noticed before when I added this in, it was not even clickable. So students would have to copy and paste. So just to make sure you understand how that part works too. But yes, if I would have done that with my file, then the link would be broken next semester. It would work this semester, but when I import next semester, it would be a broken link and you'd have to go back in and fix it. So using files to the left will make sure it will stay an active working link. All right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
And Eric, I was curious, why were you thinking about hiding the files option?
I've never done that before. In fact, I've used really files as a sort of centerpiece of folks going to the course. But the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking about folks going through the course in sequence. And so what I've done in the past is I've simply uploaded the files that they need the week that they need them. But it might be so much easier to load them all at one time and then hide some of those or hide the file section and just have them come up through the modules as they went through the modules.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's basically because sometimes, again, you'll have students just go directly to the files and open something up that way. Or if you do have something you don't want them to see until the assignment starts or until the quiz starts, if the file tool is hidden completely, you don't have to worry about students seeing it ahead of time. Once they click into their quiz, then they'll be able to click the link and see it. So that's a couple of reasons I've heard other instructors talk about why they've wanted to do it that way.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Let's see, make sure I didn't miss anything else. And I'm sure you guys both know how to create a discussion. Are there any questions about how discussions work?
No, I'm good.
Okay. And what about grades? Are there questions about the gradebook? I usually do a quick overview of the gradebook, but I know both of you have been using Canvas, so you might not need to. But are there anything specifically that you want to know about the gradebook?
No, I just took training in that about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I'm going to probably do that training again just to make sure that I'm not missing anything.
Okay.
But one thing that I learned the hard way is that the default shows students a scatter plot and a grade range.
Oh.
And so learning how to uncheck that so that I didn't get the students saying, why am I the lowest in the class?
Oh, yeah.
Was this because that's a sort of bad default option? So
Yeah.
I thought I'd throw that out there. But
Okay, yep. And for Peggy, in case you're not sure, that's in the settings itself. It's not within the gradebook. And you want to be on the course details tab. And then I think it's in the more options. Hide grade distribution graphs from students. So I have to check that if I want those highest, so they can see the distribution graphs. I want to click that and update in order to hide it. If it's not, students will see, hey, this was the average grade, this is the high grade, low grade, that type of thing.
I must be more heartless than Eric. I show that to them after every exam.
I can see some value in doing that in some settings, but the settings that I was using it just caused more problems. And it was a surprise to me because I couldn't see that students could see it until I was told that it was there.
Yeah. And one of the nice things I'll point out really quickly before we end is that if you're in the gradebook and you click on a student's name and then click on the link that says grades, this is their view of the gradebook. So they can see, hey, these assignments are missing. These are the assignments coming up, what their total grade is. And of course, this is a fake class with nothing graded, so that doesn't help much. But this is what students see when they go to the gradebook. So this is nice whether you have a student come to your office at some point when things are open again and they want to go over their grade rather than being on the grades page where they can see everybody's. You click on that and then they can just see their grade, or just to see, okay, when the student asks about something, what are they seeing? Come in here and look, and that way you can see what it is that they're seeing. So that's a nice way to just view one specific student's grades. All right, so that's all I have, unless you have any questions about anything.
No, thanks, Cindy. That's great.
All right. Okay, good. And I do have on our Canvas Help page, it's svsu.edu/Canvas Help. There are pre-recorded versions of not every single one of my workshops, but most of them. So if I have a workshop you're interested in attending, but you can't make it during the time that it's offered, feel free to go there and watch those previously recorded versions. That way you can learn the information without having to do it at a specific time when I'm available. So, and if you have questions,
where are those
let
again?
me know. All right.
Where are those again?
If you go, and I'll send that link to you, it's svsu.edu/Canvas Help.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. All right. And let me know if you end up with any questions later, and I'll send you the answers to that about wrapping the text around an image so that you know how to do that. Okay.
Cool. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.